Alright then, hello friends, I'm and yes, I believe you all already know why we're creating a video today. Today is the day Windows 10 died, sort of permanently. Well, today is the end of life of Windows 10. This is October 15. Well, we already know this around a whole year ago, so yes. But still, Microsoft has done some things which I know it doesn't feels right. Well, let's talk about it, shall we? In this video, I'm just going to talk about everything. Nothing else. You're not going to see anything, just me talking to you about this particular matter. So, let's get started. Alright, then, let us introduce myself. I am as you already know, and today is the day Windows 10 has died. Sort of. Well, by the word sort of, I meant that Windows 10, you do have an option to use Windows 10 for another year. You will not receive any proper feature update or any new drivers. You will only get the normal security updates to keep the system going on for a whole year. And in order to get that, you have a few options like create a Microsoft account or pay $30 to Windows or, a lot of other places. But I'm not going to get into that because it doesn't matter. The thing which matters right now is that Windows 10 actually had half the percentage of desktop market share, like market user share. I don't know what to say about that. Windows 11 has been trying to compete with Windows 10. Well, it does feels weird to say that, like, these are just generations of the same thing, a new version versus the old one, and it's obvious because people do not like Windows 11. And personally, in my opinion, Windows 11 is just, I don't know, it feels fake, half, like partially fake. Yes, you do have amazing and beautiful options, features, the beautiful translucent design, the curves, the rounded corners. But then, what are you sacrificing for that? Your privacy, telemetries, well, really bad instability, updates that might just break your whole system, remove data, or even worse, there were some updates which were actually like could hack into your laptop or PC. I don't know how. People have done that. People have reported that. So, yeah. And not just that, it's not about all that. You can fix that, like as a Linux user, as a normal user who can just open a video on YouTube to understand and disable all the telemetries, all the bad stuff of Windows 11. But still, after all of that, your system usage is around like half 6 GBs constantly without running anything in the background just for the operating system. It takes so much battery life. And then not just that, like yes, I say take my memory usage, but give me the best possible experience all the time. It cannot give me that. And then let's leave that. Windows 11 is just not as polished, not as keen. Emphasis on the word keen. It's not as fast as Windows 10. That is why around 40% of the people were still on Windows 10 as of last month, approximately. And around 50% on Windows 11 and just a few of them on Windows 7 or other Windows versions or, well, customized versions of modded Windows, which are completely illegal in my opinion. Like, just understand, why would someone actually give you a modded version of a paid product in which it is heavily customized? They removed all the Microsoft stuff. What makes you think they cannot add something of themselves to profit themselves? Just think about it. It's obvious. But leaving that, all of that matters for another video. The options Microsoft has given us is, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. Like, yes, you can extend the lifeline, the lifespan of Windows 10 by 1 year. I understand that. It's indeed the perfect step Microsoft has to take. But we have to register Microsoft account. We have to pay $30 or I don't know, some other ways to do that as well. And even beyond that, it will just be for 1 year. That's it. Now, in this video, I'm not gonna ask you to switch to Linux or even Mac OS or anything. It's about the particular thing about Windows. Windows is the best operating system right now, no doubt about it. I'm saying that as a Linux user, a person who has built a whole channel about Linux, and it is obvious Windows 11 is indeed the best. Even if I don't like to use that, even if I don't use it anymore, it is still the best. Do you know why? You can play all the games you want. You have access to almost all the applications available on the internet. You have, well, Pro PHP drivers. That's a heart pain in a Linux user's heart. And then leaving that, you have the freedom, the accessibility, the independence macOS users do not have. You see, in all the domains, Windows is still at the top. We cannot argue that even if Linux is just awesome, has better performance, on the applications it supports out of the box or by default or using Proton. The battery life is amazing. You have a perfectly secure and private environment. It is really, really fast, fluid to experience. And the overall customizability, you can have the most beautiful desktop in the whole world on Linux. You can even create a whole operating system for yourself, customized by yourself, meeting all the requirements. But then, what are you going to do in that environment? Maybe if you like, maybe you need to create videos. Yes, okay, I'm going to install DaVinci Resolve Studio. Even there, you cannot have AAC audio codec, which are like 80% of the video files I have on my phone, I have on my PC or server, they are AAC codec, and I cannot edit those videos. I need to convert them. And then talking about the other thing, my favorite games to run on Windows. Yes, they can run with Proton, but it's not so stable. Even if it's available, it's not so stable. It's not so reliable. And I got banned for, playing on Linux on my favorite game, Fallout 84. That's why I do not do that anymore. So you understand what I'm telling you. Even if we do not want to admit Windows is still the best, and maybe that's the problem. Like, there's nothing wrong. But still, we should at least have a few options, a few alternatives to the best Windows 10. Yes, you can switch to Windows 11 and customize it in depth, delete services, registries, telemetries, deboot the whole operating system. But even in the end, you will be like shedding a lot of the core operating system. And every time a big update comes to Windows 11, all of that stuff is going to come back. You're going to have to do it again. Well, to be honest, this video was not even scripted. I just had an idea that I need to talk about it. And that is why you might think like I'm just through the roof, way beyond what I intended to talk about, which was Windows 10's end of life and Microsoft giving us the worst alternatives and the best at the same time. The best in the sense that you do have an option to use Windows 10 for another year. That's just awesome. Like, I truly appreciate that. While for the people who actually want to switch from Windows 10, the OG, the most stable, cleanest, and to be honest, the fastest operating system right now, there's no option which can truly replace Windows 10. That's what I'm talking about. Not even Linux, not even Windows 10 or the customized version of Windows 11, not even Windows 11 Lite, which you can search on online, not even Mac OS. All the stuff you could do with Windows 10 without caring about anything about the system or the laptop. That freedom, that independence as a whole is not available entirely on any operating system right now. Yes, you can find, like, if you have a dual boarding system of Windows 11 and Linux, you can file the own package. If you have two devices, for example, a macOS device and a Windows device for gaming or Steam Deck or Nintendo or PS5, you can get that experience, but still it's not the freedom. You're actually dividing those particular things and giving them separate devices. That's not the way it should have been, should it? No. Well, I believe that's it for today's video. I just wanted to talk about things, and yeah, I actually didn't have much time to create a video, so I thought let's just talk about the thing which is right now trending. So, a little low effort, but still just pure raw content where we can actually communicate with each other. What do you think about it? In my opinion, most of you guys are using Windows 11 maybe right now. And if you are my subscriber, most probably you are a Linux user or you have a dual booting system or something like that. And yet you're still not so satisfied. Like, yes, you're satisfied with the operating system, the desktop, the feel, the overall experience. But you're not actually getting the work done, are you? You're not actually getting the real work done on those systems, are you? Well, I hear you. As a Linux user, I know how it feels. And that is why I also have a dual booting system. Yep, Linux for my everyday task, all the usual daily tasks where I actually need to feel the best desktop, the fluidity of Linux. But when it comes to the real work, which is most probably video editing or gaming, I have to use Windows. Well, till now I was using Linux for that, but now after like most of my videos are in a codec which Linux does not support, and then most of the games I love which are trending are not available on Linux. Those two things are just the major drawback. Well, to be honest, if I had a chance to grab a Linux laptop, I'm definitely gonna go for that. Well, my choice would be Framework. If you know, you know. But truly, if you had the you will go for a MacBook, won't you? It's obvious. Because in the real time, you need the best experience. You need the most productive, the efficiency in your real work. Not roaming around in the desktop, but in the actual work, the actual environment where you're actually supposed to spend time working, creating something. Well, I believe that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video. In the comments what do you think about it. And yeah, if you have any suggestions for the future video, let me know. And yep, right now I'm actually testing SolidOS, which actually released on the day when Windows 10 has ended the support. Let me just tell you, they were waiting for this moment for years, I believe. Yep, they were. Alright then, well, subscribe if you don't want to miss that SolidOS video, in which, to be honest, SolidOS is the closest thing of what Windows 10 could give you if you're just a normal home user, okay? But if you're a professional or a professional gamer, streamer, content creator maybe, Linux is not for you. Just one word. Well, yeah, that's it.